In the mid-1990s, Mercedes-Benz found itself at a crossroads. With the DTM ITC series folding in 1996, AMG was suddenly without a major motorsport playground. But as one era ended, another began. The FIA GT Championship, an emerging battlefield dominated by the McLaren F1 GTR and Porsche 911 GT1. Mercedes-AMG received a clear directive from Stuttgart: build a race car so dominant it would top their rivals, and do it fast. What followed was nothing short of miraculous. AMG engineers started with a clean slate in winter 1996 to 97 and, in just 128 days, delivered a fully functional race prototype, the CLK GTR. While years are the typical timeline for such development, AMG achieved this in little more than 4 months, an engineering sprint rarely seen in the automotive world. A massive secret helped accelerate the project. AMG purchased a McLaren F1 GTR chassis number 11R from Larber Competition. This McLaren served as a test mule where AMG engineers stripped away its bodywork, added prototype panels, and swapped in Mercedes' own V12 engine. The car was used for intensive aerodynamic and mechanical testing. Amazingly, after testing, the McLaren was rebuilt to original spec and even auctioned in 2000. By April 1997, the CLK GTR was ready for racing. At Hockenheimring, it laid down a pole position on debut, proof that AMG's accelerated development had paid off. The car's core was pure race DNA, a carbon fiber / aluminum honeycomb monocoque, pushrod suspension, sequential 6-speed gearbox, and a mid-mounted 6.0-liter V12 built specifically for competition. Although its debut race had mechanical issues, AMG resolved them quickly. By June 29th, the CLK GTR scored its first victory at Nürburgring and closed the 1997 season with 6 wins out of 11 races, securing both drivers' and manufacturers' titles. But road legal homologation rules demanded more, at least 25 street-legal examples. AMG rose to the challenge, building 20 coupes and 6 roadsters. One of the roadsters was a prototype, each nearly identical to its racer, aside from comforts like air conditioning, leather, and traction control. These cars retained the full carbon fiber structure, sequential gearbox, and dihedral, butterfly doors, and even the integrated road legal wings. Under the hood, the street variants received an enlarged version of the V12, displacing 6.9 liters and eliminating racing restrictors. It produced about 612 horsepower and 775 Newton-meters torque, capable of 0 to 62 miles per hour in 3.8 seconds and 214 miles per hour top speed. A small group of supersport versions, 2 coupes, boasted an even larger 7.3-liter V12 with approximately 655 to 665 horsepower. Meanwhile, the 6 roadsters featured exposed roll bars, separate rear wings, and mirrors mounted on the doors instead of fenders. In 1998, the CLK GTR continued its dominance, winning the first 2 rounds, before Mercedes shifted focus to the new CLK LM, designed specifically for Le Mans, with a 5.0-liter V8 under the hood. But its GT1 dominance was unquestioned, over 17 wins in 22 races across 1997 and 1998. On the road, the CLK GTR instantly became the world's most expensive production car in 1998, with a sticker price of around $1.5 million, approximately 3 million German marks. Today, it's even more valuable. Rare examples often trade for $10 million or more, and top auction results have exceeded $15 million. The CLK GTR wasn't just a race car with plates, it was a hypercar before the term existed. It melded race spec tech, stress-bearing engine, carbon tub, sequential transmission with road legal touches. It challenged the era's supercars, matching the McLaren F1 GTR in performance and surpassing many peers in sheer drama. By creating a road car that was effectively the same as the race car, AMG blurred the lines between track and street, making the CLK GTR a legend in both realms. Its story remains a highlight in AMG's history and a direct precursor to today's hybrid-powered Project One hypercar, proof that motorsport technology can leap to the road. Why the CLK GTR still matters. Unprecedented pace, from concept to track in 128 days. McLaren test mule, clever, unorthodox development method that saved precious time. Factory-like road cars, 20 coupes, 6 roadsters mirror aero, and mechanical specs of the racer. Race dominance, 17 wins, back-to-back FIA GT titles. Collector icon, world record price tag, and rarer than unicorns with values still skyrocketing. The Mercedes-Benz CLK GTR wasn't merely a fast car, it was a declaration of intent. In less than half a year, AMG created a weapon that dominated races and transformed into a hypercar for the streets. Its legacy lives on in timing sheets and auction records, but most importantly, in the idea that when passion, technology, and ingenuity collide, legends are born. But before we close the story of the CLK GTR, let's clear up one of the biggest misconceptions in Mercedes racing history. Many fans remember dramatic footage of a Mercedes race car literally flying into the air at Le Mans and think it was the CLK GTR. In reality, that was a different beast. The Mercedes-Benz CLR, built for Le Mans in 1999. While the CLK GTR and its evolution, the CLK LM, dominated the FIA GT Championship in 1997 and 1998. Mercedes wanted an outright Le Mans victory. So they created the CLR, a new prototype with a lower, longer body and extreme aero. Unfortunately, the CLR had a serious aerodynamic flaw. When following closely behind another car or cresting hills at high speed, air could rush underneath the nose, creating massive lift. During practice at Le Mans in 1999, Australian driver Mark Webber experienced 2 horrifying airborne crashes when his CLR took off like a plane, flipping through the air. In the actual race, Peter Dumbreck suffered an almost identical accident that was broadcast live to millions. These shocking incidents forced Mercedes to withdraw from the race immediately and ultimately quit top-level endurance racing altogether. In contrast, the CLK GTR was a closed-cockpit GT car, built under FIA GT regulations, and it never suffered such aerodynamic disasters. The CLK LM, an evolution for Le Mans 1998, was also stable but had engine reliability issues. So to set the record straight, the car that flew into the air was the CLR, not the CLK GTR or CLK LM. The CLK GTR remains celebrated as a dominant ground-bound warrior, a machine that pushed engineering to the limit but never quite left the earth.